Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and we are making this video for all the moms out there. And specifically, my channel is really meant for dentists, but there are moms who are dentists out there. Woo! So that's who this video is for. So, how do you know if your kiddo needs an orthodontic or airway intervention? Now, let me pause and let's go over some terminology or nomenclature. Now, specifically, I like to make my content according to what is legal and what I'm allowed to say. You can read between the lines on things. Okay, so the AAPD, the American Association of Pediatric Dentistry, states that a comprehensive orthodontic evaluation includes assessing the patient's airway. Factors like mouth breathing, sleep disordered breathing can affect facial and jaw development. We know that, right? Okay, so here's the bullet point. The AAPD recommends screening for airway issues such as STB, sleep disordered breathing, assessing the tongue position, and recognizing conditions like obesity and craniofacial differences, orthodontic issues, habits and things like that, or the way you were born, can be related to airway obstruction. If an airway problem is suspected, this is the important part, the AAPD advises referral to a medical provider for diagnosis and treatment. You heard that? A medical provider. That's not you. That's not you. That's the pediatrician. That's the ENT. That's the pulmonologist. It's not you, the dentist. Okay? Key policies. Okay? So it's part of it. It's your job to find it. It's your job to refer to the medical provider to have it diagnosed and treatment planned. This is the important part. Okay? So it's a team approach, including the MD. This is no different than how OSA, sleep apnea, is treated. And I know a lot of you guys are getting woo-woo and fringy on it, but you guys are pushing the elements. And there are ways that you can report people who are violating this. So as I make this content, I'm going to see if I can find that report hotline. But there is one where you can actually contact, it's the ADA, but what are they going to do, right? Put us in dental jail. But anyways, nobody wants to get on the red flag. So what it comes down to is that you can do orthodontics on your patient if they need orthodontics, but they don't need orthodontics on baby teeth. They need, read between the lines, orthodontics on permanent teeth and jaws. Okay, well, some permanent teeth in mixed dentition jaws. Okay, so if a child comes in your chair and clearly needs orthodontics, you can treat them. And of course, you have to do the SDB and the airway evaluation, and bingo, it might get better. But if the only issue is the airway issue and not the orthodontics issue, then you got to get the MD involved. And that's how that works. So, okay, so let's go into how do we know? Moms know. That's all I got to say. Moms know. You know in the pit of your gut if something's not right with the way your child sleeps. Now, this isn't just one night, one moment in time. You can't just pick, I'm going to check Wednesday night at 10:50 p.m. and if she makes any noises in that 3-minute interval that I'm checking, something's wrong. No. I mean, they sleep a long time and they're going to make weird noises when they sleep. But if the weird noises are more frequent than not frequent or becoming more frequent, or if the weird noises are so common that and your child is sleeping 10, 12, 11 hours, obviously check with your pediatrician because, some kids need more sleep and some kids need less sleep and neurodivergent kids need more sleep. So what might be the range? Your kid could be, there were times in my kids growing when they needed way more than the range. The range was 8 to 11 hours. Sometimes they were getting 13 hours every night. They were exhausted and they weren't sick and nothing was wrong with them. They were just going through growth spurts. And you got to let your kid sleep, but they don't always want to sleep because there's so many distractions out there nowadays. I mean, it's really different. I mean, it's even different. And now I'm like going down like some weird tangent, but shoot, even when I was a kid, I mean, here we go. We only had 3 channels and we didn't have cable because it didn't exist yet. And we didn't have a DVR because it didn't exist yet, or TiVo or streaming. We, no, until I was, I think 13, we didn't even have a VCR. So, or definitely didn't have cable till later in high school. There was 3 channels. There was nothing on in the evening. It was so bad, whatever was on. It was like not stuff that kids wanted to watch. So I was more than happy to take my book and go to bed at 7:30 or 7 p.m. every night and just read until I fell asleep. That's just what we did. Or we'd take toys in our bed and play until we fell asleep with our stuffed animals or our dolls. That's just what we did. It was great to sleep. No one ever had to tell me to sleep. That was not an issue. Didn't become an issue till there was more distractions. So pay attention to your kid. If you think weird noises are happening more frequently than not, it's probably not normal. Get them screened, get them checked, right? If they have a cold or just some, I mean, you have to check their environment too. So obviously if they're having allergies or, and this is something that's become very aware to me because I didn't realize that my daughter's bedroom had mold in it until she started having a lot of chronic inflammatory issues and stuff like that. And this is a pretty nice house, you know, and it's not obvious that we had the mold. It's like it was in the walls. And now we're actually moving right now. So a couple of you guys have noticed that I've been, you know, not busy, but like all over the place. Yeah, we're moving right now because of the mold issue that all of us have had chronic health issues. We're out. So yeah, and you can have a very nice house that looks totally fine on the outside, totally fine on the inside, doesn't smell weird, doesn't do that, and you can start to get chronic issues years before you start to actually smell something. And now we're smelling something. So, anyways, TMI, but if they're making noises, they probably need help. Get them screened. All right. Hope that helps. Thanks.